Hello and Assalamualaikum. I'm Siti Haja. Now I will explain about the definitions of Tawarruq. Tawarruq can be defined as a series of sale contracts in succession where a buyer buy a commodity from a seller on a deferred payment and then sell it to the different buyer on a cash basis in order to get immediate money. How Tawarruq is done? After buying goods from a supplier, which is the first sale, the bank will resell them to the customer, which is the second sale. In order to obtain the required cash, the buyer will then sell the good to another supplier, which is the third sale. What is the types of Tawarruq? Tawarruq have three types. The first one is Tawarruq in classical fiqh. Tawarruq fiqh refer to the act of a person called the mustawi buying a commodity on a credit and then selling it to someone else, not the original seller, at a lower cash price in order to obtain cash. The second one is organized Tawarruq. Tawarruq munazam refer to a person buy a good on credit from local or international market. The seller then arranges to sell the good either directly or through an agent or in agreement with the buyer at a cash price which is lower than the purchase price. The third one is banking or inverse Tawarruq. It is a structured form of Tawarruq where the mustawi is the institutions and the financial is the client. This form of Tawarruq is typically used in bank deposit. Now, I will explain about the first issue, which is Tawarruq as a legal trick or hila. Tawarruq is often used by Islamic banks as a way to offer cash financing while avoiding interest, which is prohibited in Islam. Tawarruq procedure consists of a sequence of transactions in purchasing and selling the commodity, such as metal or palm oil. However, in reality, no one is interested in the commodity itself. Although the result is particularly identical as a conventional loan with interest, it is just a way to make the transactions appear as a Sharia-compliant product. What is the solution? The solution can be overcome by enforcing stronger Sharia governance and operational requirements. This ensures that the transactions remain transparent, permissible in Islamic trading, and not just discourage interest-based loan, which is prohibited under Sharia. The second issue is resemblance to buy al-ina. Modern Tawarruq closely resemble buy al-ina, where assets are sold and repurchased immediately at higher price to achieve cash financing, where similar to interest-based loan. Tawarruq involve a third party to avoid the direct forms of ina. Consequences remain essentially the same as the customer will receive cash and had to pay larger amount on the different basis. What is the solution? Regulatory authorities should review and re-examine the Tawarruq structure to ensure that there is no pre-arranged agreement for the original seller to repurchase the commodity. The purpose of this measure is to prevent the transactions from functioning as a discrete and interest-based loan. The third issue is the bank as a dual agent. Bank represent the customer in both the commodity purchase and sale as a dual agent in Tawarruq transaction. Since the bank can easily handle both aspects of the transaction, they may increase the profit margin for their own benefit while limiting the customer control and awareness of the process. This activity goes against the principle of transparency, fairness, and equity that are upheld by Sharia. What is the solution? The solution is for we individual or any institutions from acting as a representative of buyer and seller in the same contract. The purchase and the sale procedure must be handled separately. This either by another bank department or by a third party. This process will provide a protection of interest of the customer and ensure that the transaction is transparent and fair. In conclusion, Tawarruq is a very common and practical in managing liquidity and personal financing. It allows Islamic banks to meet the financial need without interest bank activity. The main concern is the similarity to buy al-ina, which is forbidden in Malaysia and also seen as a legal trick hila To avoid the riba interest, the use of dual agent create a conflict of interest. This problem can erode public trust if not addressed by stricter law and reforms. It also weakens the transparency and integrity of Islamic bank due to its similarity to conventional system. For recommendations, Bank Negara Malaysia can tighten the Tawarruq transaction regulation so that the transaction carried out involve real ownerships and commodity are bought and sold genuinely. This to ensure that there are no transactions that against the Islamic principle which only aim to obtain cash. Islamic bank can provide more fair and effective financing solutions such as mudarabah and musyarakah in order to strengthen the public confidence in the Islamic banking system.